How are ya? If you've been following me for a while, you know that I've been slowly starting to get into FPV. I'll get my drone to show you this thing. This is the current FPV drone that I have, and I've flown it like a handful of times, like maybe one, actually not even a handful. How many times is classified as a handful? Is it like 4 or 5? Because I haven't flown it that many times. I've flown it about 3 times, and I've been speaking to this guy called Thomas, and he's like a really good FPV drone pilot. Like, he's been doing it for like 10 years or something. He competes nationally and all that sort of stuff. And he just so happens to live like 30 minutes from where I live here in Melbourne. So today I want to see if I can hit some gaps. So I want to find some like not little like this big, but like, I don't know. I want to go through some gaps just to like practice that skill in FPV. Hopefully I don't crash, but I guess time will tell.
And then this one is a full-blown race quad. So this is actually the ones that I would race internationally. This weighs like 20 grams less than that one, which doesn't sound like much, but when you're talking about a whole thing that only weighs like 400 grams with battery, that 20 grams really makes a difference.
It's a lot. Well, that's the thing, because I look at them and I'm like, they're identical. Like, they look exactly the same to me. Let me know what you think of this drone. What do you think of this one?
No, you put it together well. I mean, I didn't know what to expect because this is a company I hadn't heard from before.
Yeah, neither.
The frame itself looks like the stuff that we used to use like back in 2016.
It's a bit dirty.
So it's fine. They all end up like this.
Yeah.
This is the natural course of any kind of racing drone or FPV drone, because I think.
Have a look at this though. See this? How that seems a bit
a little
wonky.
wobbly. Yeah. I'll show you what we've done with our mounts, because we just redid all our GoPro mounts.
That's really thin. That's the problem with that. That's where you're getting your flex from. See where it's flexing up here?
Well, that's what it does.
Yeah.
But my footage is like fucking all over the place, and I'm like,
flying dead smooth, but the video's.
Yeah, the video's like, whoa. Do you recommend GoPro or? Because I've got the DJI Osmo on there. What do you think's better in your opinion?
I think GoPro has traditionally been better, hasn't it? For FPV footage.
Okay. So, because it's raining now, we're gonna just come into this undercover section here and just wait for it to stop raining, and then we'll fly in that gap, because obviously you can't fly drones in the rain unless you don't want to fly your drone anymore. I don't actually know specifically what you do. That might sound bad, but I know it's drone racing, but like, explain to the audience.
It's basically car racing in the sky, but because you're not in it, you can full send it, and if you crash, it doesn't matter. So I've won the Australian Nationals in 2016, 2017, 2019.
Oh, yeah.
Australian Open 2017, 2018, 2019. New Zealand Open 2019, 2020.
Okay.
And then lockdown happened, so that was over. Then also the Australian International Open, which is probably the biggest like individual event I've won as a solo pilot.
Yeah.
I won that 2017, 2019.
So essentially, you know how to fly FPV a little bit. You're just trying to flex, aren't you? Yeah. Dude, look at that. That is god tier controller specs. Yeah, alright, so I'm going to fly the drone. Probably just going to get some... I want to try and get some shots like going through the trees here. Like hitting gaps. That's something that I want to get better at. Like finding a space that I can fly through and actually getting through it. I've got some trees here. They're big gaps. They're like at least a couple, like 3 meters wide. So nothing too hectic yet, but nothing that you would do. Like,
you got this.
Yeah.
I think it's like anything, you got to take baby steps.
Yeah. my knees are always shaking whenever I fly. I'm like trying to stay up still, like, yeah, I'm like all the way up there, like diving through trees, and I'm like shaking in real life. For this racing one, how fast does it get to the top speed and all that? Like, what is it?
So our top speed on this setup as it is right now is about 197, 200 k's an hour. With the new propellers we've got coming out soon, hopefully soon. Still a few more things to work out with that. We've hit 220.
0 to 220 in under a second. That's fucked. What the? What? There's something so freeing about just flying FPV, just being in the headset and just flying like through trees and stuff. Like the flight that I did today was fun because every time I fly the FPV, I'm slowly like pushing it like a little bit every time I fly. Today I flew through a little gap, which I was happy about because I feel like that's something good to work towards. Obviously having control over the drone is super important, and by hitting those gaps, I'm slowly working towards just becoming a better pilot. In doing that, I did crash a drone a couple times, but they're pretty tough. All that happened was one of the propellers was a little bit bent, but you can just replace that, which is super easy. And actually, thanks to Tom and his dad for coming out today. Look what they gave me. They gave me like a whole bag, like 20 bags worth of propellers. So thanks guys, I appreciate that. I don't know what he is in terms of like rankings or whatever, but it doesn't even fucking matter. He's just like a hectic pilot. Like watching him fly, just weaving in and out things as if he was like riding a bike, it was crazy. So it's pretty much second nature to him, but that's because he's been doing it for like 10 years, so you just get better over time, obviously. So it's cool to see someone that good fly in real life, because I've never seen him fly. If you want to go check more of his stuff out, I'll leave his Instagram in the description. That's all for today's video. I don't know if you noticed I got the new lighting setup, so let me know if you think it's better or not. I've got like a fill light here, the key light, and then backlight. You know, I'm not from a filmmaking background, so to do like proper lighting to me is just like, I just don't really get it, like how to get it super clean, but something I'm working towards, and I want to slowly work towards just getting more clean lighting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, don't think, just do.
Repetition, shop and blaze. Like me, she my serving up every single plate. The hottest in the season, even summer looks away. Cause I got something to prove. I'm here cause I pay my dues. So please tell me something new. I'm in the